What's up, guys? This is Sullivan. I was giving my latest review on season 5, episode 4 of Samurai Jack. The reason, this was a big of an issue. Probably wants to continue with doing this or not. I'm about to go on vacation, so there's gonna be some delay in me making videos. So sorry for that. Sorry for that for anybody who watched my channel at first. Anyway, let's get started. If you guys noticed, a week. This episode was supposed to go out like a week earlier than it was. This is Adult Swim decided to do this whole April Fool's prank. Do all kinds of Rick and Morty stuff. They did that for not just Samurai Jack, but also for Dragon Ball Super, or Family Guy, Adult Hiking in the Hill, all kinds of stuff. Which was like everybody just got upset. There was like a lot of I didn't see that coming. But then again, it's April Fool's, so they just did that as some prank or whatever. But knowing Adult Swim, what do you expect? Anyway, well, it starts out with what happened last week. The episode, with the last episode that ended, Jack survives his encounters with the coup. He embraces his destiny. He fights off all the assassins. He kills them all one at a time. He managed to survive the fall. But but Ashi managed to survive. He has to have the decision. He's still hallucinating, seeing those crows saying and killer, murderer, and all that stuff. Say that this was their choice. This was their choice. They chose the path. And Jack, remember that thing where he said the choices we make reflect on who we are. Jack knows what he did. He still killed those people. He still killed those girls, but he had no choice but to protect himself. No, because these killers are out to kill him, and this is all because of Aku, But that decision is going to remain with him for the rest of his life, even though he did what he did. This was his choice, So he has to accept that, And just when things start to look, what you call, accepting his hallucinations, Ashi, that one assassin girl with the long hair, attacks him, Jack tries to defend himself, even managed to wrap her up, his, chains and stuff. And Jack's like, I never met a robot who was more confused than any man, that being Ashi. Remember, she was raised in this cult that worshipped the coup, her and 7 other girls, all the raised that Jack is evil and he's a friend that he must be destroyed. For in reality, Aku is really the evil and must be destroyed. Well, they were all brainwashed at a young age. Jack is trying to figure out what to do. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he and Ashi are literally swallowed by this giant and monstrous-looking thing. It just emerged from on the ground out of nowhere. This isn't the first time that Jack has been swallowed by a monster, or something. I still remember that one time he got swallowed by a dragon. Again, that 2-headed snake thing, still don't know how the hell he got out of that. And there's also one of my personal favorites, the whole underwater episode. That was my personal favorite because that was one of my personal favorites. From early on in Samurai Jack. That's my favorite. Especially the theme or all. Like Jack, he has to survive. On the way out, but you also have to watch out for Ashi. Because this girl, she's literally with him, and down this path. How they were falling together, while Jack was trying to defend himself, trying to fight away, she was just straight up attacking him, She doesn't give up, Remember, she was raised as a warrior, or brought up to her single mind for one purpose, along with the other girls, to kill Jack, That is something that, and Jack knows this, This is not her fault that she was raised this way. This is because of other people, and also. Even though he tries her best to convince her that what she believes is a total lie, they just butt heads, he knows they're getting nowhere. The whole point is just trying to make it out of this in one piece or alive or whatever, which kind of makes sense. However, it's gonna be hard with this assassin girl. Now, Jack is still trying to suffer from his hallucination, trying to find his way to make sense of his decisions, he even talked to this giant fluffy cotton ball. With pink eyes and a mouth. He even tries to talk to his other self. The one that that's the darker half. That's his. I think that I'm gonna call that his split personality. not really split personality, just the parts of him, that's all but giving up on, this way of life, you know. I really like, the overall shots in this movie. Like not I mean episode, the overall shots. Like when Jack and the girl actually are falling into abyss and they land, you get to see these orbs or whatever. If I would have guessed, like they're right now in the heart of a beast, not the heart, but the central, like the inside. And those things look like the same rounded things you get to see in the previews on Samurai Jack and the Adult Swim, for what's coming next, which makes total sense, because the way they look alike. We had to see Jack, facing these monster crab-looking things. If I would have guessed, they're like versions of what you call white blood cells or whatever, because they're in a body of a foreign being, this large behemoth of a creature, which we have no idea what it is, just another monster of the day. So they probably think that Jack and Ashi are what you call the infection. How this girl just laughs, hoping that saying that the Samurai is dead, but he's not dead, and it's but they're still alive, but only temporary. Like this girl is all but embraced, her lifestyle. Jack tries to defend himself, and trying to crawl his way out. The way this place works, it's a creature, a very large creature, but the way it's like its own world, like they're inside the belly of a beast, a living creature. But the way they did it, it's like it's its own ecosystem. Like the land, like itself, it's like they've been swallowed by a mountain. I've seen the terrain, like living organisms, all that stuff. Like it may be big for its life, but it also has its own world. You ever seen Journey to the Center of the Earth? Kind of like that, Not exactly like that, Just like the world itself is bigger than you think it is, Well, Jack, he takes Ashi, even though she's completely hesitant, just didn't care about him at all. Jack's still not giving up on this girl, trying to do her best, trying to do his best to try to make it out together, try to save her because he wants her to believe him, that everything she knows is a lie, but she just shows nothing but disdain, idiocy, and disgust, whatever. I mean, she even tries to kill him a bunch of times. I said that before. Yeah, even if it meant her own death. Like, remember, when one of the first daughters of Aku got killed, they just left her body there and said, "Death is failure." They were raised as brutal warriors, and she's still committed to her mission, remembering the high priestess's words, to heart, Eventually, they make it through, Jack even dons some armor from the leftover creatures or whatever. Get to see they find a way out. They get to see these entrants surrounded by these weird looking things. One reminded me of jellyfish, the other one was a manta ray. Hey, but they're not alone. Because right now they have to find a way to fly out using the creatures, but also, there's also a river of acid right below them, There's, not to mention, there's also what you call it. There's also a large six-eyed creature, looks like the inside of a fish's skeleton, this Leviathan-looking thing. I'm going to call it Leviathan or whatever, just following them, make round, Jack tries his best, while driving, but, it's going to be very difficult. And this was very good. Like, it's like being stalked by a great white shark. Like, you're in the middle of the water, and you try to find your way out, and a shark is just swimming around looking for you. And shark have 2 eyes. This thing has 6, it's very creepy and monstrous looking, but that's one of the things you gotta like about the premise of this series, because remember, this series is being handled by Adult Swim, not Cartoon Network, so they could be as darker and more grittier than they were before in the original, That's one of the things you gotta love about the reboot. Like, this is the kind of reboot that all the cartoon shows should have, not like the Teen Titans Go and all that other BS, those shows sucked. For anybody who grew up on the original, those shows are not the same as the original. They eventually make their way out. Ashi, she's still determined, even tries to go for the kill for Jack. Then she see these ladybugs, and she remembers a time when she was training, and she tries to play with a ladybug. She liked it. But the Grand Prix says that these things are pointless distraction, and she just crushes the ladybugs right in front of her face, like she wants her to be focused on her mission. Her mission is to kill Jack. That means that no having fun. 'Cause remember, these are not normal kids. These are assassins, warrior kids. These were trained for one. They were born and raised for one more and one purpose only. Two purpose really, to please Aku and to kill Jack. But it looks like she wants more out of life. Remember, even way back then, she wanted more out of life. She wanted to go to the outside, but she was forbidden. It seems that all the girls, she's the one that's the most curious. Maybe that this may be a way to redeem her. To find a new purpose with Jack. And Jack may be able to save himself by saving this one girl. Remember, he's already conflicted. With all his other feelings, like the fact that he failed to failed to kill Aku, failed to go back in time, and failed to find out what happened to his sword. Jack has lost all hope, but maybe he can find his hope in this one girl. At least that's the theory that's going around all over the place. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for the comment. Thank you. I really enjoyed this episode a lot. I can't wait to see this. But remember, this was a big huff because Adult Swim did their stupid April Fool's prank. For that, Dragon Ball Super, all kinds of shows, got the big Rick and Morty penetration. Not that I hate Rick and Morty. I hear it's a pretty good show, but Adult Swim pranking us really really messed with a lot of people. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Hope you enjoyed that. To the comments, thank you. This is Solo Raz. Gave my latest review on Samurai Jack episode 4. Alright, see you guys next time. Alright, bye.